Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Chodash, Barakatha Yahweh, and Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, and Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the true name of Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. And Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Heavenly Father's Son, the Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to my apostles and to my elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. And peace and blessings goes to the hopeful elect, my brothers that are out in the highways, pushing his word and his truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Isaiah from GMSLA, and in today's lesson, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. But in today's lesson, I'd like to go into who's Esau Edom today. All right, because a lot of our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Single Indians, are clueless who the so-called white man is today. All right, you want to see him as a friend, but really he's your enemy. All right, he's your enemy. And he's been our enemy since the beginning. When you go into the Genesis, the 3rd chapter, all right, the Esau Edom, the so-called white man, was the serpent, and he was. Then when you go into Genesis, the 4th chapter, he was Cain, all right. And when you go into Genesis 25, when he came back as Esau, all right, and later Esau, which in the Hebrew word is Ishashwa, which means wasted away. The reason why Isaac named that, because when he first came out, what was wasted away? His pigment. All right, he had no melanin, because back then the people were dark skinned. All right, people had melanin, but Esau, he came out red, all over like a hairy garment, like is mentioned in Genesis, the 25th chapter. Okay, and you go into scriptures, you go into accounts of Esau Edom, and you'll find out that Esau Edom is whom the Lord has indignation forever. You'll find out that Esau Edom is the one whom the Lord hates. So you gotta ask yourself, who is Esau Edom today? All right, and this is what I got a couple scriptures that I want to bring out, and Lord willing, it's edifying, because when you type in on Google and you try to find out who Esau Edom today, all right, you're not gonna find out who they are. You're not gonna type in on Google and Esau is going to tell you that Esau Edom is the so-called white man. Because in the scriptures, like I just mentioned, the Lord, you have scriptures that says the Lord hates Esau. All right. And I think in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it says Esau is whom is said to have great future judgment. All right. And we know that, us here at Great Millstone, we know who Esau Edom is today. All right. And that's the so-called white man. Okay, when you go to Job, the 9th chapter and the 24th verse, okay, since started from there, I was going to read Revelation, but let's go to Job, the 9th chapter and the 24th verse. Because, again, Esau is not going to tell you who he is, all right, but he's going to give you lies. He's going to make you believe in lies, all right? And he's not only is he not going to tell you who he is, he's not going to tell you, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Single Indians, who you truly are, how you're Israelites. All right, because it was through him that the Lord used to beat our heritage out of us, to fulfill Jeremiah, the 17th chapter and the 4th verse. But through the mercy and grace of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, he rose up his men, starting with Abba Bibbins, all right, which was John the Baptist and Elijah coming back. We have our apostles today, our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And you have brothers that the Lord has woken up in these last days to who they truly are. All right, in which, it's not only us. You got millions of our people that are coming to realization of who they are, that they're Israelites. All right, that they're God's chosen people. Okay, but you're not going to hear that from the so-called white man. All right, because he does not want you to know that. But this is Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now, when you go into the beginning of Genesis, right, you find out that you have three classifications of men. Before you had Israelites, before our names were known as Israelites, before we had Jacob, we had the sons of God. Okay, which that's where we came out of. Okay, then you had the sons of men, which were these other nations. Then you had the sons of the wicked. All right, which is the so-called white man, Esau Edom. Okay, now it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now after the fall of the Byzantine Empire, when Jake was ruling Europe and they fell, okay, you have the Ottoman Turks that took them down, which were basically Edomites that followed the Ishmael's religion. Okay, and around the 1300s, 1400s, the late 1300s and the beginning of the 1400s, Esau Edom started to come into power. All right, and it says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So it says when he came into power, this is what he did. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right now, who's the main judge that he has covered? Our Lord Yahweh Shai, because this man has paint their likeness, paint our images to look like them. You had something called iconoclasm, which was basically going destroying of images. Now you gotta ask yourself, why would they do that? Why would they cover the faces of the judges thereof? Why would they change the pictures? Why would they make themselves God? Why would they make themselves as the prophets? Why would they make the prophets look like them? Why would they make God look like them? Because they were in power and they didn't want the world to know, all right, that you had the so-called Negroes, all right, you had basically dark-skinned people ruling at that time, all right, because Esau wants you to think, wants our people to Salak, you got the hiccups. Esau would want our people to think that we were nothing but slaves. We didn't rule the earth. We didn't have no heritage. Esau don't want you to think that. All right, he wants you to think that we were at the bottom forever. All right, instead of telling the truth of who was cursed, he makes our people feel like they're the cursed ones. All right, when they're the cursed ones. Okay, but it says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now, when you go to the book of Malachi, the first chapter, it says in the first verse, it says the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, say the Lord. Right, the Lord loved us. All right. It says, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Because we're in captivity, we're in the bottom, but we deserve to be in this position. Because why? Because we have transgressed the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We refuse to be obedient unto our Lord. So therefore the Lord raised up these other nations. All right, we're in the last nation to rule, Esau Edom, as a punishment. Look what Esau Edom has done to us. All right, look what the condition he's put in our people, man. And yet our people have the audacity to say that the Lord don't love us. We're in the ghettos, we're getting killed, but you have no understanding. All right, not only do you not know who you are, you lost the heritage, you lost the understanding. Okay, because the Lord does love us, and He still loves us. That's why He sent His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. All right, for the Most High so loved the world. All right, that world is cosmos, referring to you Israelites. Okay, the Lord loved us, because if He didn't, He would have. There was plenty of times you had in the wilderness. All right, the Lord wanted to get rid of our people, man, because of how wicked and stubborn they were. But the Lord, and he basically started a nation off Moses. But Moses stood up and basically put in remembrance to the Most High to remember the covenant that you made with Abraham. Okay, that you made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Okay, the Lord at the end of the day loved us. This is why, again, you read John 3:16, which is not referring to the whole world as what Christians think. This world is referring to you Israelites. All right, all starting with the elect, because in reality, when our Lord Yahweh Shai returns to make his second return, he's only coming back to save his elect. And through the elect, the rest of his people that die on this side will come back. Okay? But it says, was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau. Right. Now, Esau came out first. He was the eldest. He was set up to get the first birthright. He was set up to get the first blessing. But what happened? He was rejected. When you go to the book of Hebrews 12, right? And it was all set up in the spirit. All right. So, you have people that may say, Jacob stole the birthright. But when you go into Jacob, Yaiquab, that's the Hebrew word for Jacob, which means supplant. All right. He supplanted Jacob. Jacob supplanted Esau of his birthright and of his blessing. Okay. And it's all set up because why? When you go to Hebrews 12 and 16, all right, we just read Malachi, the Lord loved us. He didn't love Esau. He hated Esau. He loved us. This is why he set up in his spirit for first to Jacob to supplant Esau of his birthright. All right. Which he was supposed to get it, but the Lord rejected him. And he had Rebekah helped Jacob get supplant Esau of his blessing that he was supposed to receive of his father Isaac. All right. So this is Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. And Esau is the most, like it says, man, like when you read, Esau is the most vile, lowest scum of the earth. He's a scum of the earth, man. All right. You can't even have these devils near your animals or your children because he wouldn't want to have sex with them. That's how low he is. Okay. But lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Because he had that nonchalant, he didn't care. All right, when we go into it, I'm gonna read Genesis. We're gonna read it. He didn't care about his birthright. Okay, he didn't understand what that birthright really meant. But he's gonna understand it in the kingdom when his ass is getting whooped. Okay. But it says, for ye know that how afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, right, the kingdom, he was rejected. Right, he was rejected. The Lord rejected him. Just like how the Lord rejected Cain of his sacrifice. All right, the Lord rejected Esau because Cain is Esau coming back. All right. Cain and Esau are the same person. All right. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears, man. So there's nothing that you devils can do to get your birthright back. Even if you're trying to get it right now, because that's what these elites want. They know the history. How you think they're able to tell these lies? In order to tell a lie, you got to know the truth. All right. And this is why they have deceived the world and who they are and who they are. And, they deceived everybody. Okay. But look, going back to Malachi, verse 3, it says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Right, man. So when have Esau started building? What is he trying to build? His new world order. All right, ever since they came in power, they've been trying to build the new world order, man. Okay? Ever since they came in power, they've been trying to build a new world order. But hey, just like it says, they're gonna build, but when they build, the Lord's gonna throw down. Read Job, the 20th chapter. When he's about to fill his belly, then the Most High shall rain the wrath of the fire of his wrath upon him. When he shall flee from the iron weapon, just roughly paraphrasing it. Okay, but it says the border of wickedness. So Esau is known as the border of wickedness. All right, and the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. Okay, so the Lord has indignation forever, and this is something that's not taught to the world. And when our people may come across the scripture, you got to ask yourself, who is Edom today? Who is Esau Edom? Who does the Lord hate? What people do they hate? What people is it that the Lord hates? And it's not you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, some Indians, because that's what it seems like to our people. All right, going back to the second verse of Malachi. All right, our people say, "Wherein hast thou loved us?" They have that. They think that the Lord hates them, man, because they're at the bottom. They're being oppressed, being killed. They're in the ghettos. All right, it seems like the Lord hates us, but the Lord loves us, man, because like it says, when the Lord loveth, He chasteneth. Okay, when you go to Amos, the third chapter, it says right here, Amos 3:2, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity." So out of all the nations of the earth, the Lord chose us to be His people, to be holy. What makes us holy? When you go into the word holy, Kodash means separate. What makes us separate from these other nations? All right, these laws, statutes, commandments. That what makes us separate. I think if I could find it real quick, I don't have my Bible on me. I have it highlighted, but if I could find it, I think it's 20. Right. Leviticus 20:22, "Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spill you not out." Okay, because that land, the land of Israel, is a holy land. To make it holy, we have to keep it holy by keeping the laws. Skipping down to 24, "But I have said unto you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which have separated you from the other people." What's the other people? The other nations. And what separated us? The laws, statutes, commandments. All right, verse 26, going down to 26. "And ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord am holy, and have served you from other people, that you should be mine." Right. 26, it says, "You must be holy, because I, the Lord, am holy. I have set you apart from all other people to be my very own." So out of all the other nations, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, the Ham, Japheth, the Lord has separated us by giving us these laws, statutes, and commandments, which are life. All right, that breath. Okay, that's why He likened you other nations as dogs. Okay, the Lord has separated us from you and gave us the law, statutes, commandments, what makes us holy. So by not keeping the law, statutes, commandments, okay, that makes us unholy. Therefore, the Lord has to punish us, because out of all the, like we just read, out of all the nations, the families of the earth, the Lord is punishing us for our iniquities. Okay, this is a punishment. All right, don't our people are not seen as a punishment. They're seen as, oh, the Lord hates us. We're at the bottom. God don't love us. God does love you. The Most High does love you, but this is tough love, very tough love, man. Okay, Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. Right, we've been robbed. Okay, we got man. We've been man. You got Gad, Reuben, and Issachar. They got their lands taken from them. Basically, all the tribes, man. They've been spoiled. They've been robbed. All the tribes, man. We've been robbed and spoiled, man. Okay, I can't, say that God robbed, and because we all been robbed and spoiled, because we all the same people, man. Okay, but it says they're all of them snared in holes. Right, we're here in America, man, trapped, and our people think that we're free. It says, and they are hid in prison houses. Right, this is a big prison for the Israelites, America. They are for a prey. They are for a prey. This is why when you get pulled over, Esau, you have a thing called racial profiling, man. Esau's looking to devour you, man. He's looking to consume you. He's looking to destroy you, man. Ruin your life. Because he sees you as a prey. All right. They are for a prey and none delivereth, for a spoil and none saith restore. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? And the only ones that's going to do this are the elect. The ones that the Lord has opened their minds. They're going to take heed and understand why we're in this condition. All right. But this is the point. Verse 24 and 25, it says, who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Right, man. We have not walked in the Most High's ways. This is why the Lord gave us up to be a spoil and gave us up to the robbers, which are you Edomites. Okay? Because we sinned. We weren't obedient. So the Lord had no choice but to punish us by raising up these other nations. And the last captivity is Esau Edom. All right? He's the last nation that he's risen up to punish us, man. And guess what? He's not done punishing us. Okay? He's not done. The Lord's not done punishing his people, man. Okay? Verse 25, therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and hath set him on fire round about, yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. Right? Our people are not laying to heart why these things are happening to them. But they want to say, oh, God don't love us. God forgot about us. When you have scriptures that say, the Lord, if a woman may forget a suckling child, but the Lord will not forget us. All right? Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, I change not. Right, the Lord doesn't change not. He remembers his covenant with Isaac that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is why he has not forsaken us. He does not change. Okay. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. We're not consumed because there's been plenty of time where we could have been consumed, man. All right, plenty. You had a time with the Greeks Salakia, brothers, but what the name I'm about to say is a tongue twister. But the Jews over there in Alexandria, Egypt, when the Greeks ruled, you had a Ptolemy the Philopator. Okay, he tried to gather up all the Jews in Alexandria, all right, and put them to death by having elephant stampede. All right, the time of Haman the Agagite. Okay, he tried to get all the Jews to be killed, man. Okay, 70 AD. Okay, the real Holocaust with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. There's been so many times that we could have been consumed as a people, but the Lord had mercy upon us, man. That we're not consumed by this devil, because if it wasn't for the Lord's mercy, we would have been consumed a long time ago. Okay, but hey, the Lord has an elect. Okay, He has an elect. Because even though the majority of our people will die, a lot of our people will die, the Lord has an elect. That through that small remnant that's going to make it, the rest of our people will return. Okay, come back in their right minds. Okay, but let's go back to the topic because I know I'm kind of going out of topic. But let's go to Revelation, the 6th chapter and the 5th verse. It says, the 4th verse. Okay, going back to the topic, who was Esau Edom? Revelation 6 and 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Right, now who is this red horse? This red horse is Esau Edom. All right, horse representing power. Okay, red. He's known as red because Esau's red. That's what he truly is. He's not white as he claims to be. He's red. And let's go to Genesis, the 25th chapter, and we'll start from 25 and 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord entreated of him, and Rebekah's wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went out to inquire of the Lord. Right, man. She had twins. Rebecca had twins, Esau and Jacob. Okay, now we've been fighting ever since we've been in the womb. All right, that goes back to that what the Lord put upon the serpent and the woman, the hostility, the enmity, the hatred between thy seed and the woman and her seed. We're natural born enemies, man. But here it is. You see our people today trying to be all cool with the so-called white man, want to love the so-called white man, and even want the so-called white man to make it, man. This is why them type of our people like that gotta die. All right. You think that the Lord's gonna save them and have Esau and slaves and they're gonna be revolting? They're not gonna be. Nah, man. The Lord gonna put their ass to death. If you love Edomites, the Lord gonna put your ass to death, man. Simple as that. Because we're not supposed to love them. We're supposed to hate them. They're our natural born enemies, man. I hate Esau. Every time I'm around him, man, I get pissed off. I give him a mad look, man. So at the same time, we gotta be wise. But I give him, I give him an austere look, man. You know, I could be, conversate with an Edomite at my job or something, or out and about. My thoughts are not towards that devil is not good. But anyway, it says, and the Lord said unto, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Right. So 2 different people, 2 different nations are in Rebecca's womb, our mother. Okay. 2 different nations. You have the righteous and the wicked in that womb. Okay. You have the sons of God and you have the sons of the wicked in that womb. 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people. And you don't gotta, everyone knows who that is. This Edom at my job is like, man, you could probably beat me. You're stronger than me. You're faster than me. Like, yeah, I know I am. We're naturally gifted, man. We're smart. We're filled with wisdom. A lot of the things that these devils, you think that these devils created, nah, man, they stole that from Jake, man. We're great and wise people, man. Okay? But it's just that this devil came to power. He make you think that we're just niggas. We're just spicks. We're only good for sports. We're only good for some form of entertainment. That's all they see us. These devils think we're stupid, man. When you pay attention to how they talk and how they treat you, you may have a conversation, you be at work or something, they'll think you're stupid, man. When they're the dumb ones, okay? When they're the stupid ones, okay? All they're good for is wickedness and stealing other people's heritage, stealing what's not theirs, lying. They're a master of wickedness. But Esau have you think that we're us as a people, we're just good for nothing, good for entertainment. I remember when I was in 5th grade, I had my hands crossed, and I had a substitute Edomite teacher. He looked at me. He's like, you're gonna grow up and be a football player, all right? But why you think I'm gonna be a football player? It's something far greater than a football player. What about a scientist, a doctor, okay, a lawyer, a judge, prophet of the Lord, okay? These devils don't see us just as the entertainment, just as slaves, man. They don't respect us. Okay? But anyway, and the other people, it says the elder shall serve the younger. All right? And we're gonna find out who the elder is. Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. Okay? Now, Esau in the Hebrew word is Ashashua, which is basically a compound word. Ashash means wasted. Why is he? Wasted away is he. Okay? What was wasted away? His pigment. Because again, back then, people had dark skin. All the nations had dark skin. Esau was the one that came out red. All right? And when it says red like a hairy garment, it wasn't like it wasn't like it was, he came out hairy, even though he's a hairy man. It just meant how, because back in ancient world, you had dyed garments, red. They were liking his pigment like onto that, okay? And after that, so he came out first. So it says the elder shall serve the younger. And we're coming to that time where he's gonna serve us. All right. During the time of King David, King Solomon and the kings of Judah, Esau was serving us, but eventually they broke, like we're gonna read in Genesis 27, they broke the yoke from off their neck. All right. But it says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Right, man. So that represents how we're gonna take them down, because, like I said, we read how we've been fighting in the womb. Probably fighting to see who come out first. Esau came out first, but Jacob had his heel, because that represents how we're gonna take them down. How Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, but let's go back to Revelation, the 6th chapter, and the 4th verse again. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Right, man. Power was given onto this devil to take peace from the earth, and we most certainly are not in a peaceful time. This devil, the power that was given onto him, look what he's done to the earth. He's polluted it. It's polluted with wickedness. There's wars. There's chaos everywhere, man. All right. Upwars. And the reason why there's upwards of the people, you have all these riots, all these sedition, all right, is because of Esau. He's not treating the people right. He's not making it fair for the people. And it's going to get worse, because when Esau brings in that MOTB and crashes this dollar and takes what you people have, these people are going to lose it, especially these Edomites, man. That's why you have scriptures like Isaiah, the 19th chapter, and the 2nd verse. How it says the Egyptians shall fight against the Egyptians. Okay, this is why it says, and that they should kill one another, and they've been killing one another, through these wars, World War I, World War II, and even World War III. That's why Yahweh Shai said that a nation divided against itself should not stand, because who's gonna destroy America? Who's the Lord gonna use to destroy America? Russia, the Russians, which are Edomites. All right. Two powerful nations are both Edomites, and they're both going to fight against each other. You think Esau is going to stand? Okay. But it says, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay. And what's that sword? All right. That weapon. That's what he was blessed with. With that sword, this is how he was able to conquer nations, steal the resources. All right. With that sword, he was able to take down the troop. All right, Gad. That's why Jacob, when he mentioned Gad, which means, the Hebrew word God, which means troop. A troop shall overcome him. Esau is that troop that overcame Gad. And how did he overcame Gad? With that sword, when he created that Gatling gun. All right. But hey, he was given onto him a great sword. Let's get into that. Let's go to Genesis, the 27th chapter. We're going to read from 38 to 41. It says, Genesis 27 and 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? Now, this is after Jacob supplanted, Esau of his birth, of his blessing that he was supposed to get from Isaac. So when Esau came back, he found out that Jacob supplanted stole his blessing. All right, this is it. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, like we read in Hebrews 12 and 16. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. This is why they have the best parts of land, man. They have the best of everything. Like, for example, I was watching in a video on YouTube about Arizona. You had, dividing the rich and the poor. The poor, obviously, is Jake. There's no trees, there's no greenery, and that's where it's at its hottest. But when you go to the rich area where Esau's at, man, It's all full of trees, full of green. And I thought, going, because I traveled to Arizona. I've been there a few times. It's a desert. I don't like going there. I don't like especially driving. It's a desert. But Esau, man, they got, I didn't know they had it like that. All right, and trees help it keep it calm, keep it cool. But why is it only on their side, not on Jake's side? Over here in Cali, man. Okay, L.A., Jake, all ghetto, full of robberies, full of violence. But an area that I like to go to, there's a few areas that are, I like to go to Santa Barbara, and that area is so nice. It's nice. They got a beautiful beach. It's nice. The weather is perfect, man. The weather is perfect over there. Okay, it's so much to do. The sky is clear. They have a downtown Santa Barbara compared to downtown LA where Jake's at. Downtown LA where Jake's at, it's homeless, shit, piss. It's polluted. The air is polluted. But over there in downtown Santa Barbara, there's no pollution. You barely see a homeless. Everything's clean. You know why? Because it's this devil, man. They own that area. That's their side. Same thing with Laguna Beach. It's nice over there. They got the beach, the water. I like to go there to swim. Clear. That's the only water I was swimming. Okay? Besides Santa Barbara. Laguna, the water, the beach water is nice. Okay? It's like it does, like you jump in it, you could feel it, It does something to your body. It feels good. Okay? But it's Edomites. And every time I go to this area, I always got people, hey, where you from? You're not from here. I should say, I live down the street just to see the reaction. Because they're not used to Jake. And when I go to Santa Barbara, they know I'm not from here. They're like, hey, where you from, man? I'm like, I stay out in LA. Because they know that Jake don't be around here. But this is why, to get to the point, because they have the best of everything. These devils have the best of everything. This is why when you go to Psalms 73, a Psalm of Asaph, verse 1. The Psalm of Asaph, truly the Most High is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. And who's of the clean heart? The elect. All right? But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Right, man? Who's the foolish? Who's the wicked? All right? Esau. Okay? You see how good they live? You see how well they live off that, You see how they live their life? They don't go through anything. They're not suffering because this is their heaven. And this is our hell. All right, but best believe it's not. You can't. What we're gonna receive if we're think about it, we're at the bottom of the bottom. Okay, and the Lord put us at the bottom of the bottom. What do you think is gonna happen when the Lord puts us on top? You can't compare. You can't. It's not even close to comparison to what we're gonna have compared to these devils. So let them have their thing. Let them enjoy their life. This is their heaven. Okay. While at the same time, you get envious. You get mad. Like these fucking devils. Like, God damn it. Like, I get mad. I can't go out there. Because if I could move out in Santa Barbara, I would. Come to camp every week, drive down here, go back to Santa Barbara. I would. I'd be happy as hell, man. But anyway, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment. The eyes stand out with fatness. Right, they got the best part of everything. They got the riches, the best lands. All right, they even get the best stores, man. Like for example, from my area, what I know, my area here in Cali, Los Angeles, the good places to do your grocery shopping is Sprouts, Whole Foods, and Erewhon. The top one out of all of them, and you got Trader Joe's as well. They're all Edomite stores, which are mostly in all Edomite areas. But the best one is Erewhon, more expensive, but the food is pure. You get the best of everything. All right, but what does Jake get? Jake get Ralph's. Jake get 99-cent stores. All right, dollar stores. Okay, Jake get Food for Less, Vallata, okay, Vons, all these low level stores compared to what Esau gets. All right. When I make my lunch, I get my food. I go to Whole Foods. Okay. And depending on the area you got, man. Like I said, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Sprouts, Erewhon, they're all in Edomite areas. That's how you know when you see one of them stores, you're in Edomite area, man, or Edomites are nearby. Jake don't get that, man. We get the lowest of the low, while they get the top of the top. They get the best of everything. Live in these nice ass hills. Okay. It says violence covered them as a garment. And this is how you know who Esau Edom, that the so-called white man, that he's Esau Edom today. Because Esau is known. What was his first reaction when he was Cain? What was when the Lord rejected Cain's sacrifice offering, right? What was Cain's reaction? He killed his brother. Esau, when he found out that Jacob, which we're gonna go into, what was his first, when he found out that Jacob took his birthright and his blessing, what was his first reaction? He wanted to kill Jacob. What is Esau known for? Killing people, murdering, robbing, stealing, being pedophiles, being the scums of the earth. If you go into the history of Esau, that's all they're known for is killing. If you don't go by as they please, they'll kill you. Take your resource. All right? Just like Esau Edom, just like Cain. Cannot deny the fact that these devils, the so-called white men, are Esau Edom. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than hearts can wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Right, man? Concerning oppression. Why don't you forget about slavery? Why don't you, But that wasn't on that. I could continue reading, but I want to go back to let me see, another priest that came to mind. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in his life. Right? Esau has their portion in his life. All right? The Lord gave all these other nations a chance to rule. And we're at the last leg of it. Of these other nations finally, having the whole dominion of the earth. All right? In this life, and in whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasures. Right? They have all the riches, man. All the gold, all the riches that we have that really belong to us, they have it. The nice gems, the crystals, the glow in the dark crystals, man. Okay. They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes, right, man? You got a lot of Edomites that live off their heritage, leave off what their forefathers have gave them, their riches, while Jake is left with debt. Okay? As for me, I will behold thy face. In righteousness, I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. Okay? So let's go back to Genesis 27 and 20. Where we at? 39. It says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live. Right, man? By thy sword shalt thou live. That's how Esau lives. That's how he conquers nations. That's how he steals heritage. That's how he steals your resources, by his sword. Going back to Revelation, the 6th chapter. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass. Right? And when was the time that Esau was serving us? During the time of the King David, and King Solomon, and the kings of Judah. That's when Esau was serving us, okay? It says, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay, now when you go to a precept I want to bring out, let's go to First Kings. Was it Second Kings? Yeah, Second Kings. Because this is when they start to break the yoke from off the neck. Which, during the time, in the Renaissance, we had Esau and slavery as well. And then they broke the yoke off the neck again. But when you go even further in history, in 2 Kings 8 and 16, and I'm going to read the 20, okay? It says, and in the 5th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Jehoshaphat being then the king of Judah, Joram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. 32 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 88 years in Jerusalem. And he walked in the way of the king of Israel, as did the house of Ahab, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Yet the Lord would not destroy Judah for David's his servant's sake, as he promised him to give him always a light to his children. This is the point. In his days, Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah and made a king over themselves. Right, because at this time, Esau was a slave. Esau was under us, subject unto us. Okay, but this is when they started to break the yoke from off the neck. And during the time of Renaissance, when we were ruling Europe, you had Esau in bondage again. This is where you go to Revelation, the 20th chapter. In the first verse, it said, I saw an angel come down from heaven, having that key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. Right, the bottomless pit is going to the Europe. Okay, and verse 2, and he laid in his verse 2 says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent. Right, the old serpent is who? All right, Esau Edom, and this old serpent is going back to the garden. Okay, because like I said earlier, Esau, before he was Esau, he was son of the, he was known as a serpent, known as Cain, known as Esau Edom, okay, which is the devil and Satan. Devil goes into Diablos, which means accuser, slanderer, okay, and Satan goes into, when you go into Satan, Shatan, which means adversary, and Esau is an adversary to the Lord and to his laws, all right, and to his people. And bound him 1,000 years. So he was bounded 1,000 years. Okay? He was in bondage for 1,000 years. Okay? And bound him 1,000 years. He was in bondage under Jake during the time of when Jake was ruling Europe. Okay? And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. This is a time where we're in that season right now. And it started in around the late 1300s and beginning of the 1400s. That's when he started to become loose. All right, and we're still in that little season where he's loose. But he's going to be bound again. Okay, he's going to serve another 1,000 years of punishment. And then after that, he's going to be exterminated. Okay, now again, I wanted to say this angel was our Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay. It says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. All right, great chain represents the bondage that he's going to put on these devils. Okay, but anyway, let's go back to Genesis 27 and 40. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right, that was his mindset. He wanted to kill Jacob, just like how Cain killed Abel. Okay, Cain killed Abel because the Lord rejected Cain's sacrifice and was pleased with Abel. And through envy of the devil came death to the world. Cain was envious of that, so he slain his brother, Abel. Just like how right now Esau is wanting to slay Jacob. We're coming to that time where he's about to, which he's been killing us, but we're coming to that time where he's going to come with great wrath, where he's really going to try to kill Jacob. All right, his descendants, which are your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and some of the Indians. We're coming to that time. All right, this is where you're going to have Jacob's trouble. All right, it's where he's gonna be like a madman, sparing none. Okay, but he's not gonna touch the Lord's elect. Okay, the Lord's only gonna use him to destroy the wicked of his people, man. Okay, but Esau Edom is the so-called white man today. Just look at the history and compare Esau and look at Esau, how he wanted to kill, how he does things by his sword. You cannot say that Esau Edom is not the so-called white man. But anyway, Lord willing, you're edified. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Shalom.